Hello. So I'm driving along, and I can't look down right now because I'm driving and I'm got both hands on the steering column here. But I had to jump on. I thought that this light was gonna be a little longer, so I had time to put this thing up here. Anyway, so I had this on my mind, and I thought to myself, I don't want to forget one piece of this thought. So I jumped on real quick, just to record it. And let me tell you something. Today a thought came to me about youth departments and how important it is to invest time, energy, and just resources and whatever into young people, and the thought came to me obviously about as it relates to church specifically, but it really is universally something that all organizations, businesses, families, whatever, should consider being essential, is pouring your time, energy, resources, etc. into the young people in your life. And I'm gonna tell you this, I've always been that type of personality. Young people have a tendency to be drawn to me, and that is no like slap on the back or anything like that. I actually really enjoy it. I enjoy being around young people, and so I'm drawn to them and they're drawn to me. And my friends are the same. We all, in associates. I don't think I really have any body that I socialize with closely that don't have that in common. It's a great time. We really enjoy it, and don't even think that, think about it being something like a task. Like, you have to do this, you have to get this done, you have to be a part of something. You have to be doing this, so you got to show up or whatever. Of course, it's important, but it's like second nature to be present. But the thought that I had today is that it is so important, and because it's so important, everybody should be involved in it. But more importantly, I want to encourage other people who are like myself and my friends, that if you have this call, if you have this burden, if you have this passion, or you have it in you to want to be connected to youth departments, it's important to take time to, like, as Pastor Cliff has said in one of his messages, to hone that gift, hone in on what it is that you have a burden about, what your purpose is, and if this is it, then cultivate it. And that was pulled from a series that Conqueror's Church was doing, and I was really, really blessed by it. So I reference it a lot. And Pastor Sam and Pastor Cliff at Conqueror's had been teaching back and forth about this subject, and it just so happened that series was relevant in my life. But either way, you have to, like, you have to do it. Like, you have to spend time investing in what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And if that's your thing, like, hey, get on it, because young people, like, are literally the future of whatever you're a part of. And if you think you're not a part of something, think again. Think again, because even if you're not connected to an organization, even if it's not work, even if it's not church, even if it's not your community, even if it's not, something that you leave your house and are a part of, let me tell you something. Young people are in your house, okay? If they're not in your house, they're in your family, okay? So it's important for you to know that. Know your family, know who people are, and be pouring into the generations that are coming back below you and behind you. Because if you don't educate and teach and pour into young people, your glory days, and you know what I'm saying, and all of the stuff that you living in now and you're doing right now, it ends with you. And I don't know why anybody would be okay with that, but if you're okay with that, you know what I'm saying, then think of it this way. You never, like, tomorrow's not promised. Ecclesiastes says that, listen, all of this stuff that we getting and we gain or whatever, you know what that writer said? He said, I had it all, I had nothing, I had, you know what I'm saying? I lived like, and what I realized that it was all useless. Like, it was all nothing because I could take none of it to my grave, basically. Essentially is what those first few chapters talk about. Like, come on now. You can't do nothing with all of the things that you attain in this earth. You know what I mean? You can work hard, you can earn money, you can get houses, you can get all of this stuff, but you can't take any of it to the grave. And then let me tell you what else this scripture says. It says that when you do die, then your stuff that you worked hard for is left. Ain't nobody hearing me, because I ain't doing nothing but talking to a video camera. It's left for the people behind, for young people, for the people who don't feel about it like you felt about it. So it's important to cultivate that. Even if you concerned about your things, make provision for what's going to happen after you. The life that we live, according to Old Testament scripture, is not even for us anyway. It's for our seed. The decisions that we make, several places in Old Testament scripture does it tell us to make sure that we're investing that, making sure we're investing that time to make sure we're writing, things on our doorposts when you come in, when you go out. You know what I mean? And countless stories about generations doing things that directly affect the future generations. Like, we need to do that. This is important. This is essential. And I know I'm talking loosely, but I'm just trying to, just encourage, people to consider that, because while it's also important to have balance and have both. I'm not saying you can have you got to have a whole organization or church full of young people. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that sure, it has to be balanced, but everybody has a role. But the most important role, and you can disagree with me if you want, is that of those who will come after you. And if you don't teach them, somebody will teach them. They will learn. If we don't cultivate it, what's important, and what cultivate and teach our values and our purposes and our, what I'm saying, and our culture and just everything that we live by that make us who we are. If we don't teach that to young people, then it stops with you, it ends, and then it dies out. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you, we could say, oh, young people not like, it ain't like we used to be. It ain't like when I was younger, da-da-da-da-da. You know why you had that experience when you were younger? Because there was somebody who is doing what you and I should be doing. They cared about you, about who you will become. For yourself and for those to come after you. And because you're going to have to lead them someday. How many of us are leading people right now that are older than us, that have lived life, you know what I mean, that have had tons of experiences, and we overlook that. You know what I mean? Somebody had to make us who we are. Hello. Somebody. And so, and so we have that responsibility to those who are going to come after us. So I just, it's on my heart, and I think we should, and I think we should be passionate about it, and and get to our assignments, whatever they may be, but today I'm specifically talking about those who are called to effect and to encourage young people, and you should be doing that. Me personally, I just seem to have always had a knack for it. Like, it's just been natural, and I have never even put much effort into it. I'm just now at almost 40 realizing that realizing that I need to be intentional about it. But it's always been very natural. I'm divorced now, but when I got married, let me tell you, my wedding party was kids. When I got, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, it was like natural. Like, then throughout my marriage, we always had kids in the house. After I got divorced, always had kids around me. At my business, you know who worked for me the entire time? Kids, young people. I have an event coming up right now. At the end of this month, you know who my majority of my volunteers are? Children, 9, 10, 11 years old. Now, in this season of my life, I'm just being intentional about it. Like, I don't even want, adults in the space unless those adults are like-minded. Like, they're thinking about me. You're either going to be a consumer, or you're going to help me work, and you're going to help me engage the young people around me. Period. Point blank. Like, that's my only intention. It's part of my purpose in life is to be connected to them, and I know that in this season. As a matter of fact, changed my whole dynamic. God shifted my hard shift on my life to make sure, you know what I'm saying, and as I started to move towards my purpose, God started changing things around me to make room for where I was going. Do you know what I'm saying? And I know that this is exactly what I should be doing. I've changed my educational goals to reflect that. I've changed my church home to reflect that goal. I'm changing my relationships to reflect that goal. Because I know what my purpose is in this earth, and I know that it is to, evoke change. And like, we gotta get busy, y'all. Like, youth leaders in our communities, in our homes, we're very influential over the young people around us. And we literally have what the future of our worlds looks like in our hands, in our spirit, in our mind. Literally sitting in the palm of our hands. What are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? Don't toy with it. Don't play with it. Let God show you. Tap in to where you should be going, the direction that you should be going, and don't worry about who approves of it or not. Amen. Don't worry about that, because when you walk in purpose, everything else will align itself. In Jesus' name. Bye.